It's like a jump in logic right away. They're like, this is just how we do it. Like they never like self-examine. Like the Bible says don't eat flesh, but then you're still eating fish the whole time. But then the person was saying that I'm like doing Satan's job by not agreeing with him that that's real. Like someone just came up with a story and somehow I'm satanic now for saying maybe that's not in the Bible.
What do I consider myself at this point in time? Because I'm just in a state of, limbo is not the right word. You know, when you're young and you're experimenting with everything in life, like that's kind of how it feels in my religion right now. And I'm not closing the door on anything.
Let's pretend we all live in heaven right now. No one would take that shot. Everyone would turn the other cheek to someone. Like that's what heaven is. Everyone would be perfectly acting. You would never shoot anyone. You would never steal from anyone. That's what heaven is. This is Two Beers and a Bible podcast. I'm here with my friend, Fred. How you doing today, Fred?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good. So we had some good podcasts the last time with Stephanie from the Promise Perspective, and it's going really good. All the people, like, there's been a wide variety of opinions on what we talked about, which is good. I think it's good to talk about these kind of topics. And
You'll have to fill me in as usual. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you got to get in the comments to see that stuff.
Well, I did. You told me to look at the comments, and there was one girl that commented a bunch. So I looked at her page, and she's kind of along the same lines as Stephanie.
Yeah, and you were saying we should probably have her on sometime.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, we might be reaching out here shortly to get you on. But just want to remind everyone to please like and subscribe and make sure that you're tapped in with us on the podcast to get updates on all this kind of stuff. Our Instagram's going, our Spotify, everything is doing well. So excited what the future has with this Two Beers topic we have.
Let's do it.
So today I was in charge of the beers, and last time we did the Shiner box, which is definitely Texas. And then, so today I decided to do St. Arnold's,
Another
which
Texas.
is Texas, but very Houston, right? It's super Houston kind of brand. And it's funny because I was reaching and I already took out the, what is it called? A Pilsner Urquell, like non-alcoholic beer, because I like those too. And some guy, he's like, you should try the St. Arnold one. Like, it's one of my favorites. And he took like 3 of these or 2 of these 6-packs. He's like, we drink them all the time. I was like, okay, I'm trusting you, bro. And he's like, you won't regret it. So he's like, he swore by these. I have no idea. I was not going to get these, but
This is a sparkling water.
I know, that's why it kind of like threw me off too. And he's like, well, I like Miller Lite, so it's kind of like that.
Oh God, you should never take advice on beer or alcohol from somebody that drinks Miller Lite.
Well, the thing is, I like Miller Lite, Coors Light. I was thinking about getting the Coors Light. No, there's non-alcoholic.
All right, you're fired from here on out for getting the beers if that's what you're going to do.
So no, St. Arnold, I'm going to tag them in this, and we'll review how good this Hop Springs Hoppy Sparkling Water is. I have high hopes. The guy who goes to the non-alcoholic section of HEB, like there's no one there, and then there's someone there.
Me?
But I'm just saying, I think, maybe it was God that brought us together to meet. Like, there's probably 2 people a day that get the non-alcoholic beers at HEB.
We'll see.
The fact that we're right there. We'll see how it is. Yeah. So we'll right at the end of today's episode, and
let's get it cracking.
So cheers. Let's see how it is. Hopefully it's not just like water. I kind of like it already. It's definitely Miller Lite-y.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to it's interesting. The Two Beers and a Bible podcast. It's like we're not even drinking beers at the moment now.
Oh man, might make me wish I was.
So like I was mentioning before, we had Stephanie on last show, and we talked about all sorts of things. And specifically, it brought out a lot of Catholics to our comment section.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So just a lot of people, like especially the ones talking about Easter and like fasting and that kind of stuff. They're like trying to explain themselves. They're like, this is how we fast. Like it says don't eat flesh, but we make the exception, don't eat flesh. We include fish, but like somehow that's okay by not eating flesh. Like they make excuses somehow for all the things in the Bible just because and they like it's like a jump in logic right away. They're like, this is just how we do it. Like they never like self-examine. Like the Bible says don't eat flesh, but then you're still eating fish the whole time. Like it doesn't really make sense. But that was just one sort of thing. It's just interesting to see how people react to it. A lot of people are anti like kind of sexist comments to.
I saw that one guy who like I clicked on his profile and it was like video game stuff. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
He probably listens to like the Andrew Tate kind of podcast. A lot of them.
Whatever makes him sleep better at night. That's all I could say.
So what do you think about that? Because it does say, I think, in the Bible, like that women shouldn't be preachers, or is that kind of just like a tradition we have?
I don't know. I don't want to get into that aspect of it. No, get the comments.
You don't want to get all 13% of our women listeners all angry. Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't know. If somebody's got something to say that could change my life and change my relationship with the Lord, it doesn't matter to me if they're male, female.
Amen. Yeah.
I don't get what it is. So
no, that's
to say, get back in the kitchen and leave the theology to the men or whatever that Yahoo said. Like
that's basically verbatim. Yeah.
I can't get with that. So hopefully, I feel like he wouldn't say that if God was in the room with him.
That's a good way. Yeah, like you said before, like God, he wouldn't say that, but like
that's why I stay. That's exactly why I stay out of the comment section. Like that dude would not say that in front of her husband, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. He wouldn't say it in front of God. He wouldn't say it in front of her husband. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's why I stay out of the comment. First off, I don't want to see that type of stuff because it brings me down. But also, like, I don't want to waste time going back and forth with somebody who you're not going to change their mind or anything like that. So it fires me up, not in a good way. Try to be holy now. So
well, because I think we do need to reach out to not the females side of the things, but the guys like on the manosphere of the internet where it's all about like, you know, women suck. They need to get back in the kitchen. Like all these kind of things. Like
I can't wait to see this get blown out of proportion. Somebody's going to clip this and be like, oh, yeah.
No, but I want to talk
they
about
just
it.
Want the women in the kitchen.
No, I'm saying we should be talking to those people just to examine their viewpoints to see how strong they are. Because I don't know myself what the answer is. Because
I don't think that guy has a viewpoint. I think he's a keyboard warrior that's just spouting off at the mouth.
So you don't think there's anything to like keeping like women not leading in church?
No.
So like, okay, yeah. It's just interesting though, because I'm on the other side of TikTok where I'm like bombarded by this manosphere stuff as well.
The way I see it, I don't know. I'd rather hear a woman who has pure intentions and loves the Lord than somebody that's preaching prosperity gospel or something. Like that's just how I look at it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't see where gender fits into this. So
yeah, I think it's just another thing. Obviously, the enemy uses to divide any kind of division or any difference they can have instead of just being commonly bonded in Christ and like letting Christ, you know, be our center. He'll use any kind of division he can between us. But it's just so crazy right now in politics though, because is there something to like women voting? Like
I can't offer very much to this conversation because we don't vote. So
okay.
Me or Dana, like we just haven't voted in a while. So
oh wow, when was the last election? I know you mentioned, but
I don't even know. I got registered when we lived in Nashville, but we never voted, and obviously haven't registered here. And just I don't know. It's been a while.
Because there's like logic, and this is nothing against women or anything, but men have a monopoly on force, and always have through history. Like there's only men who collectivizes and forces their will basically through force. Like that's never happened with women. Like it always comes down to like men have to dictate whatever happens through force. Like, so at the end of the day, structures fall down. Force is at the ultimate decider in society. And so men are ultimately the decider with that force. So that's kind of like the whole manosphere explanation to it, because they think that politics is just men have decided to kind of make a deal not to kill each other, and we'll use politics to kind of decide where the future is instead of just killing each other.
Well, except for the fact that they're literally killing each other.
Yeah.
So Charlie Kirk tried to kill,
Yeah, but
Trump.
There's more voices in politics now. It's not just men, right?
Yes, this is true.
But so there was kind of like a gentleman's agreement. Again, I'm gonna get trashed for this. You should have seen 2 weeks ago how much I got trashed for the multiculturalism talk and stuff.
Get out of our country. Yeah, women and foreigners, get out of our country. That's
Okay,
what
I'm
you
clipping
want.
that. No,
Oh,
I
man.
don't want that. I want everyone to be just centered in Christ and do what Christ wants, not what Mike wants to do. Like, what does Jesus Christ say to do? Jesus Christ says the man should be the leader in the home, right? And the woman should be the leader in society, like all the children and like the education, that kind of things. Like we have the rules in front of us. Like I'm not the one deciding this at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want Dana to see this and he say something wrong, and then I'm in.
So
I'm in
that's
trouble,
interesting. Okay, so yeah, I wonder what you really think about the topic then. Let's not get into it then. But anytime like I'm fearful of talking, but like I used to not talk about this stuff either, and
Yeah.
I'm now telling 12,000 people my opinion on this topic. Like I would be scared S-less before about like talking about my opinion, and that fear, it doesn't come like that's what the Bible tells me. It doesn't come from God. It comes from the enemy. Like anytime I'm scared about doing something, it definitely does not come from Jesus. So that's why I would rather just talk about it, but I understand that it's scary.
It's not. I'm not scared. Like I've never put enough effort into even thinking about it. Right? Like this is 2026. Like I don't think women just belong in the kitchen anymore. Like we've kind of evolved in that sense. So it's not anything I've even like. I put thought and effort into against the grind, and I put thought and effort into trading. Like that's where I haven't put any thought into this. So I would be lying to you. You're making something up and being fake if I was just sitting here trying to like, oh yeah, women, blah blah blah. Like I don't have anything to offer, I guess, to that side of things.
Well, I think you're right though. I've thought about this stuff, but I think at the end of the day, the truth is like.
Do you want me to ask you questions about it?
No, I think we should. You were spot on in the beginning. We should be listening to any truth that there is. It doesn't matter who's telling it. And that's why that podcast with Stephanie was so powerful, even despite the sexist comments and whatnot. Like there was truth that she spoke that we never even thought of, ever talked about, like the hidden like words of God and the Easter holiday and all these different things you would have never thought, like the tabernacle and like all this kind of stuff. I've never even completely thought about it. You're telling me that that's not good to know about?
By the whole you were caught off guard by the whole hallelujah thing when she broke that down.
Yeah. No, there's
like imagine how many people out there. Who cares who's delivering the message? That's like to me that's kind of a crazy thing to get caught up on. In the comments or whatever. But that just tells me those people don't have anything better to do than to do that type of stuff. I don't know.
And if it's your only argument against it too, then it's really bad.
Exactly. Like was anybody saying like she's full of poo?
I mean, some people were saying like you don't know what you're talking about, and then they would go over the whole history of Easter. This is how Easter happened. Like, oh, they were trying to say how the eggs happened. Like Mother Mary went to the Pope or like the Emperor once with an egg, and it turned red, and that's how they started doing the Easter eggs. But then I looked into that, and it's just all based on like it's not in the Bible, it's not in any stories. It's just like an oral tradition that Catholics have.
Yeah, like
that's
big
what
game
happened.
of telephone that I talked about that we played. Like it just got passed on, and we don't even know why we're doing it.
But then the person was saying that I'm like doing Satan's job by not agreeing with him that that's real. Like someone just came up with a story, and somehow I'm satanic now for saying maybe I don't agree. Like that's not in the Bible. Like where are you getting this viewpoint from?
Yeah.
It's from man.
Did they say the same thing about Christmas?
I don't know. That was just about Easter.
What about the tooth fairy?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like they just were focused on Easter.
Yeah, in that scenario, they're like, there is a real explanation for the eggs, and it's because Mary went to the emperor and it magically turned red. but like that story doesn't appear anywhere. It's just it appears in Catholic tradition,
Yeah.
but that's just not in a Bible, not in any canon. It's just someone sometime heard something like that, and it's been passed down to Catholics.
I found it. Yeah, I was about to go somewhere else.
Let's hear it.
I found it interesting that she doesn't consider herself a Christian.
Yeah, I found that too.
I didn't know that prior, and it really got me thinking. Like, what do I consider myself at this point in time? Because I'm just in a state of limbo is not the right word, but when you're young and you're experimenting with everything in life, like that's kind of how it feels in my religion right now. And I'm not closing the door on anything, but I'm also not being like tunnel vision and like it's this way and no other way. Like I think that's completely naive, and I think that's what these people are falling into is the Easter egg turned red and blah blah blah. Like So Easter's real. Like I don't know. I think that's how you get yourself in trouble.
No, I agree with that. And she said she was young in her faith too, and she's learning about this stuff. But I remember as soon as she said she's not Christian, I was like, I have to hold that thought and ask her about that. Because that threw me off guard too. Because like she said, she's not about labels, but at the end of the day, like you follow Christ. So you technically are a Christian.
Yeah.
Like that back in the day, they would just call themselves the way, like people that follow Christ. So I wonder if she considers her just following the way. Maybe that'll help.
She's a wealth of knowledge. And I wish we had more than an hour or whatever it was to pick her brain and talk all these things. And that girl in the comments, she was, again, with these words I've never heard. Like, it's crazy to me. And it just makes you wonder, like, how much of the truth is out there that we don't really know. Like, we've always heard, like, there's one side of the story, then there's the other, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. Like, it's kind of scary when you think about all that stuff.
Well, do you believe in that?
Hey, you're growing your beard, by the way.
Am I? Kind of.
Yeah. A little too late now. We changed the dadgum name.
Yeah, we can change the name back to 1.5 beard in a Bible or something. But do you believe that the truth is in the middle?
I don't know what to believe. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I'm. I tell you a lot of times, like, I try to put myself in a non-believer's shoes, and like I've heard it all before. Like, you want me to believe in your mythical, invisible man creator guy, and like, yeah, I get it. It sounds crazy. So I try to put myself in their shoes, and when you hear things like this egg magically turning red, and that's why we celebrate this, holiday. And then you hear like, well, I was lied to about Christmas and all this other stuff. Oh, now, by the way, we don't even know what God's real name is. And like all of it just starts lining up, and no wonder people have a hard time believing. Right. Mm-hmm. So like, I try to stay in the middle with everything and keep an open mind. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't confused right now. Yeah. Like, I am confused about a lot of things when it comes to religion. And I tried to ask her kind of, like, it's a sensitive subject, but a lot of people spend a lot of money going to school to study religion, right? And you don't want to be wrong in that instance. So does that skew what they believe? That's one of my questions, right? Mm-hmm. We'd have to ask a pastor or somebody that's been to seminary or something like that, like those type of things. But for the most part, where I'm sitting at today, like I'm more confused than ever. Like, not about, is there a God? Do I believe in God? Do I believe in, not that. It's just like, I feel like I've been lied to my whole life, and I don't know what's right and what's wrong. And I'm just trying to keep an open mind. And so, that like, I brought it up kind of about the flat earth in the Bible.
Yeah, that clip's coming out soon.
Oh, can't wait. I guess you could interpret that the Bible suggests that the earth is flat. From where I'm sitting, have a hard time believing that going to the moon and launching rockets in outer space is all just some Hollywood, production that's been put on. So like the reasonable part of me is like, I don't necessarily, but I'm not shutting off the idea that it could possibly, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. But where does that faith come from that we went into the moon? Just like so many people can't be lying?
it just seems unrealistic to like, all right. So when I was in the Army, we had our radios, right, that we would use to communicate back and forth to the base and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of where, like, I'm like, all right, maybe we didn't go to the moon, because it doesn't take much for you to lose a signal with those radios.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Neil Armstrong back in the, 60s or whatever is talking from the moon. And we've got way better technology nowadays. Like none of it kind of does not make sense.
Well, that's, I think, the best proof that something happened that is not according to history, because there's a radiation belt, the Van Allen radiation belt between the moon and the U.S. And we don't have the technology still to like take things through that without getting it corrupted. And somehow we have instantaneous feed without any corruption in the. I think we went to the moon, but they recorded it in the United, or like somewhere, just to have some video. I think that's my
That's an interesting
theory.
idea. I guess my thing is like, why? Why would they go through all that trouble to make us think they went to the moon?
Because it takes us off, I think more importantly, off of God, and we become a God ourselves, and we're going against Russia. We're trying to win the Cold War against Russia. But I think ultimately it's about like the atom bomb too. Like that's whenever we like drop the atom bomb first, humans surpassed God, and we became our own gods. And I think it like did something to our psyche where we can destroy planets now. We can destroy entire countries. Like, why do we need this magical figure in the sky? Like, and the same thing with the moon. Like, oh, we can just go to any planet we want in the world now. Like, why God would never allow us to do that. Like, there's no need for a God to have a God.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's still kind of, to me, it doesn't fulfill the answer that I would be looking for. Like, we went to the moon because there's an endless supply of oil. Like that would be more believable to me, you know? Like I'm just having I don't know. So there's parts of it where I'm like, well, that maybe, but then I'm like, that just seems like too much to go through to just make us think that we actually went to the moon. So maybe we did go to the moon. I'm somewhere in the middle on all this. The fact that I've been lied to when starting from an infant all the way till 8, when I figured out Santa wasn't real, like that doesn't help. You see what I'm saying? Like, or Jesus's birthday wasn't December 25th. Like, it all creates more questions. But is where I'm going.
No, I totally understand, and I think one of the things that really grinds my gears is that it is so like you're hated on to question if we went to the moon or the Earth is flat. But like you can have any other conspiracy in the theme where we can say birds don't exist. Like there's so many different conspiracy theories that you're allowed to have. My
son Braxton believes that the birds are actually CIA's cameras.
So yeah, and you're perfectly fine to have that. No one's gonna like cancel you on Facebook for having that opinion. But if you say the world, the Earth is flat or we didn't go to the moon, then people start ridiculing. Like there's immediate visceral reaction.
Yeah, why? That's the other part I don't get. Like, why are people so like defensive over the world being a globe? Like, like why? What does that matter at the end of the day?
That's my whole point. Like, why is it so invested into this one theory? And obviously, it's like because then all of history is fake, and then then you can question anything.
I mean, what else are we here for?
No, I agree.
To go sit in traffic on our morning commute?
Isn't it? It's just fun at the end of the day to talk about it too.
Yeah, it's not like I think it's hurting more. I think I might have said something like this during that episode. Like, if you don't question things, that should be a bigger red flag. Yeah. Like, if you just go through life believing everything, that's how you end up in a 9-to-5 that makes you miserable, paying for a house in a place you don't want to live, racked up with debt. Like, if you don't question things, that's how you just become another member of society, going through life, working just to pay bills.
And isn't that exactly what they want?
Yeah. 100% that's what they want, because it drives you further away from God.
Yeah. So again, it's anything that's trying to drive you away from God. I think that's why they try to do things. Like that's what the main goal of these people in charge are.
But again, like, how does the world being flat or not flat play into that?
Because then God exists. Like if there's a firmament, God exists.
Yeah, that's true. And when you think of the world being flat, and you think of the firmament, which there is a firmament. I've read it in the Bible. It talks about it, like literally the first couple pages.
Yeah.
That makes God seem so much closer, right?
Yeah.
So if you've never even heard the word firmament, and it just makes everything seem so much further away, and then that makes it easier for you to get into the cycle that they need you into, which is working, paying bills, too busy for God, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And there's like NASA scientists have talked about the firmament. It's like on their gravestones talking about the firmament.
I've seen that.
And so
people that have been to quote unquote space, astronauts, like they've talked about the firmament.
Yeah. And they say that it's the proof of God's existence. Like, why would NASA scientists talk about that? Like, and make it on their gravestone.
Yeah. You got scientists talking about God. Like, that's getting weird.
Yeah. And a lot of people have a trouble with that, especially atheists, is that most of the biggest scientists in the world that have made the biggest discoveries have been Christian or Catholic, or not Catholic, but like God believing.
Yeah.
Like very few have been atheists that have come up with these big theories.
Actually, I think there's been more atheist turned Christian scientists than the other way around.
No, I believe it. And most, like they said, that there's no atheists on your deathbed, because that towards the end of your life, you have to have some kind of meaning to your existence. Otherwise, you're just mud. You're like, you're nothing. Like it says your life's meaningless. Like you can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sad when you think about it like that.
If that was the truth, yeah. But it clearly can't be, because we understand what is right and wrong. We understand when we're doing something wrong. Like if we were just like trees or just like mud on the ground, there is no right and wrong way to behave. Like the fact that we know something's right and wrong in our heart proves that there's something greater than us.
Do you think the world's flat?
No. So like I don't know what to believe. Like that.
Okay. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily believe it's flat, but you don't necessarily know for 100% fact that it's round.
Yeah, I don't know that it's flat, but I know for sure the NASA's lying about stuff.
Do you feel that there's something odd about why we can't go to Antarctica? Because that plays into the whole flat thing.
So here's my thing, and totally for sure, because
we're talking Dana's world right now. Just she'll eat this up, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's my next goal. Like, so this is, I have the free podcast center. My next goal, once I have enough funds for this next
free podcast center on Antarctica.
Yes. Start with the first podcast studio in Antarctica. You heard it here first. No, but it is to circumnavigate Antarctica. I want to measure the exact mileage of what the circumference of Antarctica is. And I think it'll really prove it once and for all. Because they're saying I think it's going to be much larger. If the world is flat, it would be tens of thousands of miles long, like the Antarctica or the ice wall or whatever you call it. But right now, it shouldn't be that large. And there's a reason, like I can take 100 cruises to the Arctic Circle right now. I can go around the Arctic as much as I want, but I can't do one. I can only go to one point in Antarctica every time. I can't take why can't I take a cruise around Antarctica? So I'm going to hire a ship. I'm going to circumnavigate entire Antarctica and measure the distance of Antarctica. And I think that will...
What happens if you never reach the end? Like, come back around. What if you just keep going? Like, you won't know when to turn around and come back. You're like, I got this.
I think it would...
There's no end to this thing.
I think that by itself, if you guys have someone out there, a lot of money, I think if we can do that, it will answer a lot of questions. At least that Antarctica is not at the bottom of a circle. But again, I don't know if everything else seems to be circle in science. Like everything kind of becomes an eclipse, right? Everything's kind of like a circle.
Like, why won't they let us go there?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the Nazis thought a lot about Antarctica. They spent most of the end of the war in Antarctica, like going there for some reason. Like, why would they do that?
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they had bases there. They were like trying to find things. Like they thought the answer to winning was there.
Who says we can't go there? Who? This is where I have a problem with things. Is like, who is that ultimate judgment? It's kind of like who decided that we can remove Yah's name from the Bible 6,000 times. Like, who gets to make that decision? Like, you cannot go to Antarctica.
Yeah. No one. It's just us not like we don't question it.
Exactly.
So it becomes that we never go to Antarctica because no one questions it. Why would you want to go to a giant ice thing?
Well, because I kind of think that holds the first clue to where we can determine if the Earth is flat or not.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't,
because the truth of the matter is, and if you want to really get into that theory, they know that the average Joe is never going to have the means to go up into space and check this out for themselves. Like, that's the whole game.
Yeah.
They know, like, I'm not going to space. You're not going to space, most likely.
Yeah. Agreed.
So what choice do we have but to believe what they say? Right?
Yeah.
So, and that kind of blows my mind, though. I never really thought about the moon landing filmed here on Earth.
Well, there's a lot of
kind of shook by that now.
What's his name? Orwell, or
because the whole idea is like, how did they get the camera out there to film him coming down?
No, you couldn't. And who was filming it? And there's so many questions. And I think the most damning is you can't bring it back to the United States, that film, without getting completely, there would be holes in it. It would be giant, like it would be impossible to watch that film. But somehow it's like as perfect as film was back in the day.
Well,
like you can't encase it. We don't have the,
why can't you?
Because there's just so much radiation in that belt, and film is just, it's on film and would be bombarded by this radiation, and it would destroy the film. Was
that live broadcasted back then?
So that's another thing. People thought it was live broadcasted, but now they're admitting that it was just tape delayed. They brought it back and then they relayed it back, and they sent.
Well, that makes it more believable, actually, because there's when I sit and think about it. When was this?
69.
Okay. To think that they were live broadcasting from the moon in 1969 is just hard to believe.
But people thought that. They made it seem like it was being live broadcasted. It's not until recently that they changed their story because it's so unbelievable.
Interesting.
And also, if you look at the video, it's hilarious. If you look at the video, it's like like the ship coming down and off the moon. Like, A, who's filming that? And B, it's like this obviously fake video of this thing going up. Like, it does. Things don't move like that, and there's no fire in like space. There's so many things that don't make sense about it. But I do think it's our greatest achievement in history to get to the moon. And if you take a telescope large enough, you can see the flag on the moon. So I do think we went to the moon.
But if we went to the moon, doesn't that prove the firmament's not real?
No, that not necessarily. It depends how far the firmament is. So
that kind of defeats the purpose of making it feel like he's closer.
Well, that's your theory, right? So I don't know what the real answer is. So what I do think, and this is another theory online, is that go ahead.
The firmament to me feels like we're in one of those snow globes,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes it seem like he's just that much closer. But when you say
Maybe
it like
it's
that,
like that,
it
though.
feels like it's billions of light years away or something like that.
So
which doesn't feel close.
Yeah, and I agree. It wouldn't be close, but maybe it is. Like, I don't know the answers. Maybe we could I think this is a good prevailing. We could live in a simulation, and that's the firmament. That's the end of it. Like, it's wherever the end of the programming is. Like, that could be the firmament. There's so many different theories that it can be. The only thing that I truly know is that NASA's not telling the truth about what happened. Everything else I can kind of that's because I question that so much. I know that's not the truth. But there's another theory, and I think Buzz Aldrin was even talking about this. He's like, we never went to the moon. Have you seen that clip?
No, I haven't.
I'll clip it right now so people can see it. But he's like, I never went to the moon. We never went to the moon.
He really said that?
Yeah, he said it to a bunch of kids.
Joking?
No, he looks serious. Like, I'll clip it on this so you can see it.
And that's the other, and I don't want to bring Trump or politics into this, but that's kind of like the other problem with all this is like, we don't know who or what to believe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, fake media, fake news. Now with AI, like, I literally don't know when I see something if that's real or not. And then it's just really up to me at that point if I feel like putting in the effort to research it and study it or not. But
yeah,
it's exhausting, I guess, is the point. Like, so I gotta question you with, like, when you say, Buzz Aldrin was saying, like, we didn't go to the moon. Like, is he being serious, or is that real, or is that
I wouldn't lie to you.
misconstrued? You know, not saying you did,
Yeah.
but like a fake article, or things like that.
No, it's on videotape, and he was very serious, and he kind of got angry when people like asked him about it. Like, I think it was like kids or something asking about it. And so the theory is that the moon is basically all made of ice, and it's there for humanity to get to the next level,
Like Antarctica.
just like Antarctica, the ice wall.
Interesting. What if the moon is Antarctica?
Whoa, yeah. Have you ever seen the theory too that the moon, if you look at the craters, it kind of looks like a little 1/3 of it looks like the globe. Like you can see North America, South America, Australia, and so. But then there's a whole other part right outside. It looks like there's like you see North America, South America, Australia, and then it looks like a circle, and then there's a lot more of the moon after that.
Yeah.
So like you can kind of see the outline of our planet there. So there maybe it's like a refraction of the Earth or something. I don't know what the moon is, but I wish we could talk about this more and like investigate it with an open mind. And like,
I definitely think the title for this episode needs to be the Earth is flat.
they'll get the clicks.
Yeah, that'll get the clicks for sure. Just for the record, I don't believe that the Earth is flat. You don't believe that the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
But I could be swayed with a good argument. I think my problem is that I've seen these people who are like diehard flat earthers, and like they try to prove that the Earth is flat, and they like fail miserably.
It's hilarious when you see them fail. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we shouldn't do this."
Yeah. So I'm like, you almost had me.
Yeah.
You almost had me, but I'm back towards the Earth is round.
No, because like I take my drone up pretty high, and like you can start to kind of see like the curvature of the Earth, like with that. And I'm not using fish lens and stuff. Like you can kind of see it like but that's a whole opens up a whole another worm of things. Like, but obviously like Elon Musk, like he wouldn't be lying about
I feel
Earth.
like
And
Elon would say it was
tell
flat
us
if he thought it was flat.
And how many times has he put the rockets up there? Like he would know right away. Like why would he be wasting billions of dollars sending all these satellites and rockets up there?
Yeah, why would he be wasting billions to try to go to Mars?
Yeah.
If it was flat.
Like clearly he would know, and I think he would love telling everyone that it's flat.
I guess space could still be real. Mars could still be a thing, but that doesn't necessarily 100% mean the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah, it could be. Like I don't know how.
I just don't get why Elon would that doesn't make any sense. Why he would not just come out.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Elon would definitely
to secrecy by the the ones we shall not.
But
name.
even if then, why would he be wasting billions of his own dollars sending and doing all these things, future proofing himself to go to Mars? Like
because if that is achievable, maybe it makes him trillions of dollars. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. There was someone at a podcast here that was ripping on Elon, saying how he's not Christian and how it should all be about centering us on Earth and like getting closer to Earth and our, God here, rather than looking in the future to like Mars, like everywhere except for inner like harmony, like always externalizing everything. And it was interesting. I was like, I'm a pretty big Elon fanboy, and like that made me question it. Like maybe
that's a good point.
Maybe we should be looking more internal. I think that's what the Bible says.
Like if we take care, like we've got so much undeveloped Earth, and if we take care of it, then what's the need to go develop other planets? Then there's no need for that.
Yeah.
Would all that money Elon's spending to go to Mars and everything, like, could that be used for other things? Here,
for sure.
Like, I don't know. But I've always believed like I'm not going to tell somebody else what to do with their money. So.
But I do think the proof's in the pudding. He's spending a lot of money, so
You think we should be capped?
What do you mean cap?
With how much? Like once we get to a certain
dollar amount? Absolutely not. That's like communism.
I have to add. Well, you don't want people in America.
I never said that.
I gotta ask
I want people in America. I want them with the same culture as us. I want to build our culture here in America and keep growing that. No, but it's important because I got slack on it. It's not, I'm Polish myself. I love people from all, like I'm a nationalist of all races. Like I wish everyone had their own spaces, and like even in America, like, but we need to build our own cultures and not make this blob of every culture together, because that destroys diversity. Like the best way to have diversity is by having like separate cultures together and growing each culture, and then we have this beautiful rainbow.
That's what we're doing here in the Woodlands.
But then at the end of the day, if every place becomes like the Woodlands and everyone kind of just like comes together in one place instead of having like separate places, then it just becomes black or brown. You know, it's not even a rainbow anymore. It's just like, if you think about it in 100 years from now, like there is no culture. Everyone just kind of, it's McDonald's, Starbucks on a corner. Like everyone's just doing the same thing. It's not, I can't go to Chinatown anymore. I can't go, to Little Italy anymore and try the different things. Everything's just kind of a soup, like a mall, like a big mall, a food court. And you kind of have like a half aid everything.
Well, food courts are awesome though.
Are they? Do they still exist?
Yeah, they're awesome.
No, but you know what I mean? Like I want authentic cultures to exist, and it's not everything like Americanized, like half, like I want to be able to go to Mexico and go, have authentic tacos. I don't want everywhere in the world to be this America where it's just Taco Bell.
Yeah, I get that.
Or even Cuba,
I don't think it's going to get to that point. Like, because you're still going to have Louisiana. Louisiana's a unique place.
It'll be the last refuge.
Like you still got Texas, like I think you can go to every state and it's all different. Like it's exactly what you expect, right? So I feel
as
like
it is safe now,
yeah.
but in the future, I don't think that if we keep just making everyone like, who's going to be in charge of having Texas be like Texas and have rodeos and cowboys and that kind of stuff?
Texans.
And no, but once they're gone and it's just everyone from all different parts of the world, why would they keep, like, who's going to be in charge of keeping that culture alive?
But I think that maybe I'm being naive, but I feel like the people that are moving to Texas are like-minded for the most part.
That's what people thought in California in the 1970s. Like, California was literally a conservative heaven. They had no taxes, low taxes, like a beautiful weather all year round. Literally, it was heaven on earth. And in just 40 years, it completely got destroyed because we just invited every single person to come there, and there was no prevailing culture anymore. Like anything goes there.
Well, maybe that's how we rope-a-dope them. They come into Texas, they leave California. Now California's on the open market again. It's a free agent.
And then we go back to California and it's just the old flip-flop.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's interesting. And then I do want to go back to, we're kind of running out of time. This was quick. But the whole, I know we do this every single time, but like faith versus, what do we call it? Or works, faith versus works. Yeah, because this is always thing. But I heard a really good sermon the other day, and I wanted to talk about it because it really opened up my mind. Because speaking of diversity and different cultures and stuff, the one thing Christianity is different than any other religion that ever existed is that acceptance happens right away at the beginning, not at the end after you do all these things, do all these kind of, do all the procedures, do all the like rites and stuff like that. If you're a good enough person, then you're accepted by God. It happens as soon as you start. And like, imagine how powerful of love that is. Like, imagine you married your wife or something, and you're like, I'm not going to accept you until you cook these many meals, do all these different things. Maybe in 30 years, I'll accept you.
That's what I did.
No, but that wouldn't be love, right? That wouldn't be real love. God loves us so much, he accepts us right away. And then because he accepts us and we accept him, then we go make him meals in the kitchen. We do these things for him because he gave us that acceptance. And it's the only religion that does it that way. Every other religion does acceptance at the end.
All right. So you live your life once you realize like, hey, I want to live my life for God. You spend the rest of your days living for God.
Mm-hmm.
Osama bin Laden spends his life doing what Osama bin Laden does, and at the last minute, it's like, no, I believe in God now. Yep. He's going to heaven with you?
Yeah.
That's what you believe.
It is, because that's what Jesus did to the person on the cross next to him, right?
I just have a...
But Jesus literally did that to the stealer next to him on the cross. He was the first person in heaven, and he was probably the least deserving to be in heaven.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, what's the point then of living a good life?
See, that's not, it's about love. Like, imagine if that's what you said to your wife. Like, what's the point of even being with you if you don't give me, like, if you don't do all these good things for me? It's because you love her.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know.
And then through your love and acceptance at the beginning, all these good fruits
No,
happen.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, no. All right, this is where we're missing each other. I'm talking about like, you can still love other people while cheating on your wife, while using drugs, while watching porn, while stealing, while you can do all those things, but still like be a nice person to everybody you come in contact with, and take out the old lady's trash across the street from you. Like, you could still love people, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think that's love then. That's something else. That's like lust, or like you being scared of losing. It's not love. Like, there's on Twitter right now, on X, there's this guy called E. Schaefer, and he just had he just cheated on his wife and kids with this girl called Sarah Stock. And she was a trad wife who said she was never going to have sex until marriage. And she cheated on this guy. Like, and that was her whole persona, that she's never going to have sex. And she cheated on one of the biggest conservative. He's Orthodox Christian too. I don't think that guy ever loved his wife. I don't think Sarah ever loved her, or she had a fiance. She wouldn't let the fiance sleep with her because she's saving herself for marriage while she's having sex with this guy. I don't think she really loved her husband, because if you did, you wouldn't do that.
Okay. I get what you're saying. So do you think John Gotti loved his daughters and his grandkids?
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, probably. Like,
What did he do? I don't even know. Yeah.
John Gotti?
Yeah, like the big mob guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was still a terrible human being. You would agree, right? Allegedly. Like, I mean, he got convicted, but
Yeah. So I don't think he had love just in the Bible verse, because I think there's two different words in America. Love, like caring about someone, that's different than love. Love comes from God. It's being connected with God. It's God. That's the only way love comes in. It's having that connection of love. So it's a whole, people interchange it, but it's not the same thing.
no, and I get that. I'm just saying, like,
He cared for his kids, sure.
you can have love while you're also living a life that God doesn't approve of, right? And you're like, if two people are living completely different lives, right? This guy loves his wife and his kids. This guy loves his wife and his kids. But this guy's snorting cocaine off of, bars and whacking enemies and all this other stuff. And this guy's in church every Sunday. Like, they can both end up in heaven. So what's the point of this guy not masturbating and giving into, temptation, and just what's the point? Because
it's the same thing that I'm saying before. It's because you love God. Like, imagine doing the same thing. Like, what's the point of being married to my wife right now if I can't jerk off all the time and just go sleep with?
I guess
like that means I don't love my wife.
But I guess the point is if you still get into heaven anyway, your average person who is going to sit here and be like, why not just have fun and live by the flesh while I'm here, and then just at the last minute love God?
Because then you don't really, like, you'll never have that chance to love him. Like, you can say the words, but that doesn't mean you love him.
When you're nailed up on the cross next to Jesus, you've lived this life of debauchery, and you're hanging up there, and now you can be like, you know what? I do love God. Let me into heaven.
And it's possible, yeah.
So your average, my argument is, your average person would see it the way I'm seeing it is, why not go have fun? Why not go get drunk and do drugs and do all the things that I'm not supposed to do? And yes, you're gambling because you don't know when that second's going to hit and you're done.
Exactly.
But you're having fun on earth.
And if that's what's important for you, go and do it. But I'm saying it's not connected with love. And will you ever have a relationship with love? You don't know, because you're just prioritizing yourself.
I think where we're missing each other is, like, I'm actually saying, like, well,
I'm saying it's selfish.
You don't necessarily, if everybody gets in, if you just like love God at the right moment, then you don't have to spend your whole life loving God.
But what's wrong with it? Like, you make it seem like it's a bad thing to love God, like, and it's better just to go do coke and
I don't believe
hookers
that.
the whole
No,
time.
I don't believe that at
But
all.
some people do.
I don't believe that at all. I believe like the path is narrow. Like,
No.
I'm starting to think like not everybody, like like that's where I'm at. I don't believe everybody's going to get in.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not fun.
But if we're talking about the works versus, just believing, what I'm saying is that's why I believe the works. Like, that's why I believe you have to live a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Is because to me, it doesn't make sense that you could be a career criminal, you could be killing people, you could be stealing, you could be doing all the wrong things your whole life and get right with God 10 seconds before you die.
But like, why?
And I spend my whole life doing everything trying to please God, and we both end up in the same place.
But do you see how selfish that is, though? Like, why aren't you happy for that person to get into heaven?
No, I would be. But I'm saying,
why does it matter then? Like, it would be amazing. There's more people in heaven that accept God. Like, it's a self-centered kind of way. Like, and I used to be the same way. Like, why can't we just do anything we want? It's because
but it's not that I wouldn't be happy for somebody. It's that I don't know if that's going to happen for them.
Yeah,
is the point. I don't necessarily believe that you can go do whatever it is you want and at the last minute snap your fingers and be like, I believe, and now I'm in heaven.
Mm-hmm. It's not about snapping. It's actual about believing, but I understand your point. And this is a real tricky situation.
Because I have family who's passed, and I don't 100% know that they're in heaven. I hope they are.
Yeah.
I pray that they are. I pray that they did enough. My own biological dad, I don't know if he's in heaven. If I had to bet, I don't know if I would bet that he's in heaven, right? I hope he is. I hope we all end up there. I'm just saying I don't want to say common sense, but just the way I'm leaning, that the two don't add up to me. And I hope that I'm wrong. And I'd be happy to be wrong. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not selfish. I don't not want other people to, dude, he partied his whole life and he cheated on his wife and he gets to go to heaven too.
That's what it sounded like.
That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's what's going to happen is what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense in my head is what I'm saying.
It's a hard thing.
And that's the difference between the works and believing, I guess.
I see what you're saying, but it's a hard thing to deconstruct because at the end of the day, it is about being self-centered. Because like one of the like Gandhi said this, and this is like the John Gotti example probably too. The most selfish thing you can do in this lifetime is to become a parent, because then you just care about this one. Like, and I'm not a parent, so I can't say this. Probably when I'm a parent, it's going to be different. But you only care about these people just because they're yours. You don't care about the other kids. You're not paying for all these other kids to do things. You're just doing it for your own kids because it's your kid. And you are trying to do it for your own self, your own ego to do it.
There's some truth to that. But as your kids grow older and they start doing things, like you start like forming relationships with their friends and you want to see them all succeed together and
I agree.
All that type of stuff. So there's a little bit of truth to that. But
I remember when I first read that by Gandhi, that was like one of his most profound moments to me, is because I never thought of that. I thought they're the most selfless people, like my parents, or people that are amazing parents. Like, you're just giving up your whole life for this other person, but then you're only doing it for your person because they're part you. That's the only reason you're doing that.
You want to talk about something real quick?
Sure.
Remember we talked about guns and defending and things like that?
Yeah.
I had to go into Houston the other day.
Uh-oh.
Downtown. And I didn't bring my gun with me. And you know why?
Why?
I started thinking about it. One of the commandments is thou shalt not kill. And now I'm just like, man.
Dang, you change your thinking on this?
I haven't 100%, but I'm like, if it's the Lord, like in Iraq, the Iraqis used to say, inshallah, which was Lord's will, God's will. And now I'm just thinking like, well, maybe it's God's will if something happens to me. And I'm not supposed to defend myself or what. Like, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I don't know where that came out of left field just now, but I thought about it. And
that's interesting.
That's going back to the work. Like, that's how I'm starting to view things in my head. You see what I'm saying? Like,
see, that's all I want to, at the end of the day, it's not about what I think. I don't care about my opinion and what I'm doing or what, it's what God said. And God said it's this way.
Yeah.
So what can I say? James, like you said, another thing, kind of said it in different ways. Like you can't, you know them by their fruits, what Jesus said too, or like faith without works is dead. That's also true. All these things are true. But at the end of the day, it starts at acceptance. And that's what makes Christianity different than every other religion. And it's so beautiful if you think about it. Like I was in tears thinking about this. You're accepted right away. And every other religion says you're not accepted till the end, even like Catholicism. It's so unique to Christianity. And that's why like there's so much love flowing through. Because as soon as we give ourselves to him, we're accepted. And like the whole gun thing.
Is there love though flowing through Christianity?
In some parts, yeah.
Like I've been on this kind of mini journey ever since she said she's not a Christian, and it just has me questioning, like, our country's just full of hate right now, and we're this Christian country, and I don't know how much love is flowing through the Christian. Seeing the comments of Christians, like that's a good point. I don't know, like.
But again, I think it's the end of the day, like, I wish I had this scripture because it defines what love is. And love is literally just being connected to God. Like the society changed the meaning of love to be like caring and like open-heartedness into it. But it's all about just God is love. He's the pure essence of love. And if we want love, we need to be connected to God. Like that's where love comes from. And then he decides, when we're forgiven and doing all these things. It's like a father. Yeah. He's our father. And like to have that fatherly love, it's stern. It tells us when we don't want to hear the things at the end of the day, but that's love.
What were you going to say about the gun thing?
Oh, I'm just saying that blows my mind because I got so much flack on that. That's one of our best clips still. I was looking at the most popular on YouTube, and that gun argument really resonated with people, but everyone was just saying how wrong I am. Because I own my own gun too, yeah. And I struggle with the same question. Like, if we're really listening to what God says, like we should turn the other cheek. But like, I selfishly don't. I want to protect my family.
Yeah, like
I want to protect myself.
It's hard for me to think about somebody breaking into my house with my wife and kids there, and I'm just supposed to be like, doing like that. That's just so hard for me to imagine doing. I haven't fully. I'm not at the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna sell all my guns and just.
I still have my guns. Yeah.
Let what happens happen. Like that. I'm not there yet. But I thought that was interesting that I even had that thought.
That's incredible.
To begin with, and
that's coming from an army guy too. Like that's got to be that's got to be hard to even think about.
And it's funny you mentioned that because you hear all these people like when these ICE shootings happen and things like that, and it's I don't want to get into the meat and potatoes of all that, but one of the things you always hear is like, why didn't they just shoot him in the leg or something like that? Like, first off, you're not trained. You're not trained to do that. You're trained for this. It's the biggest. You're not trained for the head. You're not trained for the feet. Like you're trained center mass.
Really?
It's the biggest target, right? But when I was thinking about like the whole gun situation, I even had that thought. It was like, well, maybe I could still defend myself and I could just shoot him in the kneecap or something like that. Not. But it's just so, dude. What's the odds of when adrenaline's running and all these emotions are going through me that I'm going to pull this perfect shot and hit somebody in the kneecap, right, and disable them?
Yeah,
it's not likely.
People have this like movie image of what shooting guns is. If you've never shot guns, like I remember the first time I started training guns, and I'm sure you're much better than me. It's hard to pinpoint like over 15 meters or something.
Dude, I'm not a good. So I was in the infantry. I did have a sidearm my second tour, but I am not a very good shot with a pistol. Rifle, completely different story. Mm-hmm. I did squad designated marksman, like a qualified expert, all that type of stuff. But when it comes to Dana's outshot me before with pistols.
Really?
Yeah, I can't for whatever reason. Like I'm just not very good with a pistol.
Interesting.
So like for me to think like I'm going to shoot somebody in the knee when I'm not a very good shot with a pistol, that's just not realistic.
But you're like a trained guy, and a trained police officer would probably have trouble too from a distance to do that too. It's a tough shot with all that adrenaline. Your wrists have to be like so stiff to have like a good shot. I realized, and It's hard. It's not like the movies.
I don't know what police do and all that, but all right. So when you go to the shooting range, it is completely different shooting at a target when you're not out of breath, when you're not sweating, when sweat's not dripping down your eyes, like you're not like trying to catch your breath.
I bet, yeah.
Like we used to put all our stuff on, we call them stress shoots, and we'd had all our gear on, and they'd make us do push-ups, they'd make us run, come back, do more push-ups, do jumping jacks, everything they could do to basically just get our heart beating out of our chest. Because when you're in a situation like that in combat, it's not going to be like you're just standing at a firing range.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
Shooting at a steel target, a standing steel target. You know, like everything is going to be going through you. So if you haven't experienced that, and I don't know if the police do that or not, I would hope they do something of that sort. But it's completely different. It's a different game.
I believe it.
So that's why shooting somebody in the knee or the leg or anything like that, it's just there's too many variables, and it's not how you're trained, and it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. But we're getting off topic. I'm just saying that I was thinking along those lines. You know, like how can I still deter somebody and protect my family without taking a life if that situation ever presented itself?
I think it sucks for me to say as an enthusiast. I think that's ultimately the way we have to do it. Because if you think about heaven, let's pretend we all live in heaven right now. No one would take that shot. Everyone would turn the other cheek to someone. Like that's what heaven is. If everyone would be perfectly acting, you would never shoot anyone. You would never steal from anyone. You would never do anything. That's what heaven is. So that's what we ultimately need to do. But it just sucks thinking about it because this earth is so fallen, and like we want to protect ourselves and our family. Like I don't know what I would do if someone broke into my house. Like I keep thinking about that. Like I couldn't. Like it's so hard to think about.
Yeah.
But we're running out of time here. But I also wanted to talk. You sent a text message a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I thought it's a fascinating subject to talk about sports betting. And I know there's so many people struggling with it right now. And I want to know what your thoughts are on sports betting. Do you do it at all?
No, I don't. I did for a little while. And
did you make some money?
I think I'm like either broke even or might have lost. It wasn't anything like significant. But I had started following a guy on YouTube who had a system, and you know, I had a spreadsheet, and I started tracking everything, and yeah, I'm big into KPIs, so tracking data and all that. You see with the trading and all that. But Dana I brought it to her. I was like, I think I want to pursue this, and she was like, I don't think that this is how God would want us to make money, and that was all I needed to hear, and I just left it at that.
Dang, this Dana person's smart as heck.
So, yeah, I think it's fun. And my issue also with it was that I found when I was betting on games and things like that, or prop bets and things, like I was watching stuff I literally cared nothing about. Like I do not care about NBA basketball, but I was like watching to make sure this dude, hits 4 3-pointers in a game. Like, what am I doing? So that was another reason, but it was mainly when Dana was just like, I don't think God. That was 2023 actually, because there's a whole arbitrage side of betting where you can bet on 2 different sports books on the same game but 2 different outcomes and guarantee a win and guarantee profit. And there's a calculator that you put in, and you put in the odds on each sport, and it'll tell you, hey, you need to bet this much on this sports book and this much on this outcome, and you're going to win regardless.
I bring it up because it's so popular these days because there's all these sports prediction websites like Polymarket and Kalshi. I don't know if you've heard of those.
Yeah.
And I got into it I just want to see what the deal is. And it's literally like trading stocks. You buy shares of something. That's how they get around it.
I heard a Kalshi whenever the election was coming up, and there was a bet that you could make that Trump wasn't going to win Iowa. And I calculated it real quick, and you could like bet $10,000 to win $1,200 or something like that. And I was like, man, that's probably the easiest $1,200 somebody could make, because it was right after that was it an article or something came out with Iowa,
Yeah.
and like Kamala had a chance or something. It was a poll. Some lady came out with a poll.
Oh,
You don't remember
I
this?
don't remember that. No.
Yeah, and no. Well, needless to say,
But you can make systematic things about this. But this is why I don't think it is Christian either, because I'm using my Claude bot, my OpenClaw, all the time. And I don't know if you all heard about this. It's pretty amazing. You can make a bot that kind of does everything.
is that Christian?
So that's another story. We're running out of time. We should talk about OpenClaw and CloudBot if that's Christian. But
We didn't even get to talk about a Bella Danger today.
yeah, we didn't even talk about Bella Danger. That would have been so many views just mentioning her right there.
Next time.
But anyway, this CloudBot, like they have these markets for like crypto and Bitcoin. Every 15 minutes, they say it's either going to go up or down, like on a base thing. But there's a lot of arbitrage you can use. Like you look at the different markets at different like exchanges, and it's a couple seconds later that it gets updated on Polymarket and Kashi. And there's definitely money you can make there. And that's what I'm having my CloudBot do. And it's doing pretty successfully. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's Christian. And you mentioned this in another text. It's all about stewarding and like where you're being a good steward with your money, like, and especially with your time.
Yeah, life is, that's what, was said in church the other day was life is just a test of stewardship. And that like kind of wrecked me at that point in time.
Because it's so true. Because our most precious thing on this earth is our time and our thoughts, I think. And our time is so limited. And we're using it just to do random things like, like bet on Bitcoin going up every 15 minutes. Like that certainly can't be our best use of that time.
Or the money that, you're wasting on gambling, losing, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a good steward of that money. Like, I mean, it'd probably be a real big problem if you're not tithing, but you're losing money to the gambling. That would be a red flag.
For sure, yeah.
Right there. So, I don't know. I don't like, it's one of those things like I gave up drinking, obviously, but I don't look down on somebody that drinks anymore because I was there. I don't look down on somebody that's gambling. Like, at the end of the day, we're all going to have an accountability, session that's to give.
Yeah.
And questions to answer and all those sort of things. So it's for each and every person to say, you know what, I truly believe in my heart that this isn't hurting anything and it passes the test for me. Fine. You do what you do.
But it is an addiction. Gambling is definitely an addiction and gets addicting because like it gives you this like hit every time you're right. And then like the lows, like you really want to, it's like keep chasing the jag.
How does gambling differ from trading?
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like institutionalized gambling.
Well, I would argue that it's more about data and trends and not luck, which is more of what gambling is.
No, I see.
And having a system and all that type of stuff. I do think they're different, but
they are different. Obviously, like you can win most of the time. Like
theoretically, with trading, there doesn't always have to be a loser, right?
Well, the underwriters have to.
No, I'm saying like if me and you get in a trade and it goes up, we both win, right?
Yeah, but someone loses.
Well, I mean,
the banks lose. Whoever underwrote that contract.
I don't know. I have to think more about it.
There's two sides to every trade. There's when you're buying something, someone's selling.
Yeah, but you don't lose anything if you don't sell.
Yeah, until someone buys.
That doesn't mean that person lost that sold, because they could have bought it at $1 a share and they sold it at $2 a share when you bought it to get in.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that
just because just because there's a buy and sell transaction doesn't mean that one person won and one person lost
in that transaction. But over time,
in gambling, there's a winner and a loser, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I also think it's important because what you said right there is spot on. Because when you're sports betting, you're gambling for the most part. Even if you're doing a little thing, especially if you're parlaying. So many people love these parlays. Like they'll put
that's just donating money.
Any parlay you do, an additional parlay, you're losing money there. Like people don't understand. You're looking at the
stop doing parlays.
4x, 5x of what it is.
Stop doing parlays.
You're giving up edge every parlay that you do.
The professional gamblers or they will tell you stop doing
No,
parlays.
it doesn't make any sense. You're giving away money by doing it. And then, yes, you'll hit it every 10 or 5 to 10 times, but you're losing money on every one, and you're eventually going to lose even more than you would have done if you just do straight bets.
Yep.
But it's just crazy that people just keep chasing this stuff. And it's all about being a good steward of our time, money, and thoughts. And I had so many other things to talk about today, but that was a long enough episode.
I think for me, it's trading could be gambling when you stop going by your system and your rules.
Yeah.
And you lose your discipline and you're just like, oh, this stock's going up, I'm getting in.
Yeah.
And now you're gambling. But
so I gambled a lot, is what you're saying. Yeah. I definitely gambled, man. I'm so bad at that. So that I really have to stop. But hopefully you're doing better.
yeah, I'm doing great this year.
Oh, great. So let's rate these beers. And so
I forgot our scale.
So these are St. Arnold Hop Spring, Happy Sparkling Water. We have a scale from 1 to 5. We'll put it on the screen right now. I think for me, I enjoyed this, and I'm a light kind of beer drinker. I would give it another 4 because I could see myself drinking these at a beach or on the backyard or something and just kind of relaxing. I feel relaxed and it feels good in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you
Pause. But anyways. Dang, that was funny. I don't know if you noticed, but I cracked a second one. And I hate to say this because I am a Shiner Bock guy at heart, and I gave that a 3, I believe.
Yeah.
But I believe this is a 4 in my book.
No way. Dang.
At my first sip, I was like, oh, this is terrible. And then
Doesn't it feel refreshing?
I could see that this seems like you just cut the grass on a hot summer day and you crack one of these open right when you get in the pool to cool off.
Yeah, that's at a beach, at a pool, this would just hit really good. Like even towards the end, I still feel like it good.
I'm not ready. Let's come back to this and bring it back for another episode later on because I don't want to just give out 5s.
Dang, you were thinking 5s for
No,
this?
I'm talking myself off of a 5 right now.
Wow.
Because I can see this being so social that you get all the benefits of an alcoholic drink without the drunkenness and everything. Like, I feel like I'm drinking alcohol.
No, for sure. I wouldn't miss beer.
Yeah.
Like if I'm drinking this, it really tastes good.
That's why I'm saying, let me come back. Let me reserve judgment.
All right.
4 for now. Let's see what else is out there because we can't just give 5s out.
No, I like that. We'll hold out on the 5. St. Arnold, you do a good thing with this beer. Hop Spring.
Make sure you tag
recommended.
them
No, I want
let's
to.
get us a sponsorship or something.
Because that's a good Houston company. Have you been to their brewery downtown?
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, it's really fun. All right, so that was a good episode. We talked about a lot of things. It started kind of weird at the beginning. Hopefully, y'all don't hate me. But
What was weird about it?
I talked about women and stuff like that,
yeah.
and that's the whole thing.
I feel like our viewers are going to get used to it by now.
I'm not judging anything, and I'm just trying to examine these questions.
It's okay if you are. I'm not judging you for judging people.
See, that's very non-judgmental of you. But anyway, please tap in with subscribing to us and leaving a comment. We're 2 beers and a Bible, and we'll be back next time. See y'all.
Peace.